dear Sagittarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of July 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Cancer season, so happy birthday to all Cancers out there. And this is a general reading for Sun, Moon and Rising sign, and I read for the signs in order of most liked videos. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So if this reading is in the reversed, it's in the reverse for you. For this reading, I will use the 78 Tarot Mythical. It's a collaboration by 78 Tarot Global Collaboration. It's 81 artist limited edition deck. It was voted a winner in the semi-final against 3 other 78 tarot decks, and it also won the final against the Celtic Dragon Tarot. I had so many beautiful decks to choose from this time, and I couldn't make up my mind which one to use at my channel, and I'm truly grateful for all the help with choosing this magical deck. If this is not your personal favorite, I expect you to be honorable and acknowledge that the vote is over and that this deck won. Bless your heart, everyone, and thank you for the love in all shapes and forms. So, I will start shuffling your cards, and when I open your deck, I see the Two of Swords together with the Tower. So it seems like there's a mounting pressure on someone that is keeping their mouth shut, being silent, doesn't want to admit to some certain truth of some sort. And it's like the castle is burning underneath their feet. Maybe the castle, the ego castle, is burning underneath their feet. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we have the 8 of Pentacles together with the Tower. So this is something you know. This is something you have done before many times. So 8 of Pentacles, it's like learning something over and over again. We see a lot of candle lights there. You have been awake for a long time. Learning new things, and I feel the sense of accepting a lot of things, not accepting that things are like they are, but accepting the truth about a lot of things and what you need to do to develop and to move on, even if people seems to want to hold you back or don't share your longing for evolving. It might be, for example, a relationship where someone is stubbornly refusing to change their ways, even though it's destructive, and you have been forced to accept this under a lot of candle lights and a lot of writing in your journal, speaking with your cat there and the raven. So it's like, oh, I accept that it's like this, that we can not always get what we want. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we have a 5 of Wands together with the Tower. So it's like a conflict, a brooding conflict. People are not agreeing with each other. They have different world views, and the 5 of Wands is usually connected with, here's the Tower, is number 16, but with 14, Temperance card, how we meet other people and we battle things out with them until we learn to see a new world view. So our world view isn't the only one, but you might be butting head with someone that thinks that their world view is the only one. That's correct anyway. So I call the 6 elements. And here we have a 5 of Pentacles with the Tower. So someone is really reluctant to give up on that Tower. Darn if they're going to give up on that Tower. It's their Tower, and they have been this mighty giant for such a long time, living in the Tower. Who are you to come and challenge them to change their ways or whatever it's that's going on with you here? So, okay. 6 elements. Earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today. 10 of Cups jumping, and we have the 5 of Pentacles here. So I'm feeling a little bit like there's There's I think it's a comedy by a Greek, old like antique Greek author. I don't really know the name. It's Lysistrata or something like that, but it's about the Peloponnesian War anyways. It was a civil war in Greece between the inhabitants of Athens and Sparta. And the girls, the women in those civilizations grew tired of the fighting, so they just decided to not have sex with their spouses or their men. Also, the prostitutes went on strike until the war was over, and then the war was over. So it's a little bit what I'm seeing here, that it might be that if this person is going to like put too much effort into being the mighty giant that's always right and no one can take their castle and they are all powerful and all this, then they can't get this love, because love needs to be equal. It needs to be a give and take. And if someone wants to be a brooding monster, they can be without love. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here. Jumping. Yeah, and the star card. So it seems like this is aligned with also what the divine wants, that this should stop. We need to stop with this fighting. We need to stop with taking power over other people, also the people we love in our families, making them shake with fear that we are going to take our love away, or that if they do something wrong, we will yell at them or use our power over them in some way. It might be that the giant is feeling the same way here, that this with the love thing is a powerful thing. And it might be like the other way around for these people, that they feel that you maybe are using love as a force of power and control. But I think this is Aquarius. I think this is an above picture to this. So if you know that you have given love, you didn't want to use it towards manipulate anyone to be in shackles and chains, and you just felt like the other person was combating you, was like a rival towards you instead of sharing love with you, I think you can safely feel that you are on the right path and doing the divine work with this, much as in the comedy Lysistrata, or yeah, whatever its name is. It's something similar to that. Where were I? I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So, okay. Wonderful. I will just tune in for a few seconds here to you and the energy of this reading. Okay. So, my dear Sagittarius, this is your future, maybe going into August. And this is the now, so probably July or already now when you're watching. And this is your past. And in the past we have judgment, and I feel it's tied to a little bit what I talked about before, especially the star card. Judgment here, I don't know exactly this deity's name, but she's much like a Valkyria, and a Valkyria I know, it's from Nordic mythology. She's the one that goes on the battlefields and pick up the lost souls that have perished due to the battle, and take them up to the gods. But she is also the one that looks if we are ready to be sent to heaven here, like this, like a bird like this. I think the ravens is also her companions, but I feel a connection between these and the journey that they make from soldiers to dying to become birds. So what's going on here, it's like you are called to do something that's important. You are called to do something that affects not only you, but maybe it spreads like rings on water. It affects other human beings, maybe your ancestor, both back and forward in time. So it's very crucial for you here in the past. You had to be very mature. You were not able to only think about yourself and what you wanted. You were called to do something that was kind of a necessary and maybe hard decision, or a necessary and hard mission of some sort. We'll see. So past, and this is the now, and we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Judgment is 20, this is 10, so it goes 2 times in Judgment, and both Judgment and Wheel of Fortune is about karma and bigger events, destiny, things like this. I also saw this Knight of Wands wants to show its face. So it seems like you are doing something this is Sagittarius, that's a destined, it's a destined wheel you're in. And we saw the 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Pentacles is putting a lot of effort into some kind of cycle. And this is the bigger cycle, how the planets and moon is moving over the night sky. It has your destiny calibrated into it or written down into it. So when the moon and the planets are in a certain position, certain things will happen, and the destiny will reveal itself. Here with the Wheel of Fortune, this is an Asian legend about a person being a fox, but transforming to a human being. But in the meantime, in the transformation, they can devour human hearts, and it's like they have a necklace with human hearts there. So we can do a lot of stupid things on our journey to become the greater soul, and sometimes it is necessary also that we do these things because we don't know how the destiny is written and how our thread in the weave of creation was supposed to look. Maybe it was supposed to go in red, like heartbreak and sorrow. Okay. Sorry, and this is the future, and here we have a Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups is a beautiful card that talks more about forgiveness and love and coming back into union. We also have the World card here, so I'm thinking it's about forgiving and learning and moving on, and also acknowledging what we love and what's in our heart, and know that we will carry certain things with us for eternity. We can see this person, all the memories of the people that they loved and lost. So Knight of Cups is not kind of eternal love, it's ignition to love, and sometimes we can't keep it for ourselves. We need to sometimes let the people we love go because they have another destiny than do we. And sometimes the Knight of Cups isn't the most consistent, but it's some kind of offer of love. After the dust of the battle have settled, maybe love can prevail. So this is your past, and we have the Star card there, and here we had the Judgment. So again, it shows the significance of this, your journey, and maybe being a participant in this civil war, either as the one in the battle. I can't draw up Knight of Wands again, but either as the one in the battle or the one that refuses to support the battle by withdrawing their love and attention. So the Star card, this is a beautiful story about star-crossed lovers that couldn't meet more than once a year. They were actually stars, so it has a celestial meaning to this. And because they had also more important things to do on their separate ways, so they could only come together once a year, because in other case they would just drown in each other's eyes and not do the important things that was called upon them to do. I have dreamt about this, why people can't just, like people that wants to have great love, why they can't just meet other people that wants great love instead of meeting people that is not interested in love and are self-destructive and destroys the love that they have in their hand. And I was told that there can't be two authors, like not two writers of the destiny. That would be unfair. So if two people that really truly love each other, if they are together, they will become happy, and the rest of the world will deteriorate, because some people are kind of sent to the world to be the light that shines in a very dark place. And if the lights just shine for each other, they can't light up the world. So that's why you are in unhappy love relationships. That was the explanation I got and had to settle with. So this is the Queen of Swords. So the star card is Aquarius. And we had the Judgment here with this, we will call her the Valkyria. And then we have Kali here, Queen of Swords. So it seems like this is female, rather harsh deities with important tasks. They can't be too lovey-dovey. They have this important thing that they need to do, and they need to be a little bit fierce about it. Can't afford to slumber away into the dream territory. So with the Queen of Swords, you might be dealing with Libra, the Aquarius, Gemini. Doesn't have to be an air sign, but it shows that we need to use logic here to be able to fulfill our destiny. So we can't always just, like these girls in this Peloponnesian War, they probably just loved their spouses. They didn't want to be a part of them as little as the spouses wanted to be apart from them. So neither wanted to be apart, but they had to in some way force them to stop killing their own sisters and brothers, since it was a civil war, a war within the nation of Greece. So they felt, why on earth are we killing each other? It's so stupid. So they needed to, because of their higher moral of what they wanted, they had a higher goal they wanted to obtain. They needed to sacrifice their personal happiness for this greater goal. And this is what we see with this logic here. And here we have this very beautiful and intriguing Chariot card. It's Persephone when she's a little bit more aged, a little bit more older, not a little young girl anymore. She has been ruling both Earth and Hades for quite some time. She's in Hades on the winter when everything dies, and on the spring she comes up to Earth and brings spring with her. And she's now this fierce queen of hell, kind of. And here we can see her traveling with Charon, kind of over the river Styx. And we have dead people actually doing the... They are being the motor in all this. So it seems like you are on a journey. We can see this also with the road of magpies leading to the star. That is both almost like a fairy tale, very beautiful, and we can dream ourselves away of the beautiful things we are doing for mankind and for the evolution. But it's also a very hard journey filled with sacrifices, personal sacrifices. Persephone was kidnapped, and she then compromised by staying half the year in Hades and half the year with her mother that mourned her so much that winter was all year around as long as Persephone was in the netherworld. So this shows that the journey of a human soul is not easy. When we are traveling to life, it's not just like skateboarding through, not having any problems. There's a lot of problems, but we can master up to them. We can do the necessary thing that needs to be done, and not be a baby about it, okay? So not asking, okay, so why is this happening to me? Why me? Persephone, she probably wondered this, but she realized, okay, this is my destiny, this is my job, someone got to do it, so this will be me. Queen of Swords, together with Persephone here, is a rather fierce bunch of ladies. And here we have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups here, someone is enjoying this. I bet this person here doesn't enjoy it, but someone is enjoying it. So it seems like someone is getting all the perks and another person is doing all the job. And I guess that's why life is unfair to so many people. Some people are living in overindulgence and other people have nothing. Some people work their ass off in the relationships and the other one is like, well, I'm content, I'm happy. Aren't you happy, dear? So, and I think Persephone would say, well, you have got your way through the things you wanted. If we can say this is of course King Solomon, but think of this as Hades. He got what he wanted, Persephone, which he kidnapped. So it seems like it's a little bit unfair. Like one person is doing heavy duty work, almost like being called into the army and going to war for the sake of justice, and this other person here is just relaxing at home, having a blast. See what's going on with that. Ace of Wands. Okay, so maybe they are not all that content. They are burning also in their ears and their tail, and so they might seem content, but I think they know that the Tower moment is upon them, and that might lose this what has been so comfortable for them. So it's something with injustice in these in a situation that you're in. Either you are the one have taken your peers for granted and letting them do all the work while they have turned a little bit bitter and fierce here, and you feel that maybe one day you will be called in to do some sacrifice too, or it's the other way around. You have done a heavy duty work and there's more people listed that's going to be called into this with Ace of Wands. I'm feeling a lot of desire from this side here. I want to show you this. Nine of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Someone is totally oblivious of what's really going on here, while another party is like deep in the shit, really have worked through all these things, maybe for years, maybe their whole life. And this other person, they have had this little bit walk in the park, maybe this skateboard journey. Okay. See what's how this situation is developing then. So this is then now, and we have a Four of Cups coming underneath the Star card. So the Four of Cups is a situation when we kind of we are still as passionate as we were before, but we just don't have it in us to engage. So it's something that felt good, but it didn't give you the rewards you wanted. Might be that you loved someone to the star and back, and maybe they didn't love you back, or they didn't put in as much effort into this situation. It doesn't have to be love, can also be a work-related thing, where you felt like, yes, we have this company, we work hard, we put in all our efforts, and then you notice, well, the other one is just going around like drinking Java all day, and I'm running around here like crazy trying to fix this. And then you are not as enthusiastic as you were before. So with the Four of Cups, we are starting to withdraw from something that we're still very passionate about, but it's starting to, the passion starts to hurt instead of support us when we are kind of being held back or not being helped. This fire hose of passion and creation that we held might start to become a burden if we don't have people backing us up, helping us holding this fire hose. It can be passion or it can be love. It can be something we want to achieve. We start to feel tired. We start to feel like, okay, if I'm the only one here, maybe I'm not supposed to do much either. Sometimes we need to match like the investment that other people does. Especially fire signs actually needs to think of this, because both Aries, Leo, Sagittarius can be very enthusiastic, giving themselves into something, and they become the arrowhead, but the rest of the arrow is missing, and you can't just fly on your own. You need this, the rest of the arrow to keep the course. So sometimes we need to back back off a little bit and kind of match the other people's investment. If they are not investing, maybe you should also invest a little bit less and see what's happening, because it seems to be a big, great imbalance here. Maybe one at this workplace, they are content, they don't have to stress. The other one, they have nosebleeds all day because of the stress. So if that's the case, you don't have to continue carrying this much responsibility. You can step down and be one of the crowd putting in as much effort. It's not going to be as successful, yes, and fire signs has a problem with not being successful. They want to have success, so they might put in a lot of effort into certain things. But if you are not getting the help, you will just become like a codependent, or a person that other people can use or lean towards, and it's not particularly evolving for them, to sit here and not do anything. They feel their tail is burning and their ears are burning, but it's still too comfortable for them to really move their little butt around, and this person have a lot on their plate. So it needs to be balanced in this situation, and that's why the Four of Cups is there. Just make an equal investment as your surrounding. If they are not calling, you don't have to call all the time, okay? You can take it back a notch and start to give some room. If you're over functioning, you can start to give some room for the other person to function overall. And here we have Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles is when we are sitting on a mountain of problems, but we are dealing with it in a kind of good way, because we are well equipped. This is a chimera. When we see a chimera, like the myths are saying, when we see a chimera, there can be earthquakes and tsunamis and great storms, hurricanes, things like this. So we can expect a tower moment eventually. But right now, it's like this Queen of Swords. She's on top of things here and making a lot of things happen. It's like she can juggle the home life, the work life, the friend life, the everything, and someone else is taking it a little bit cooler. So I'm not sure what the advice is, but I think it's like this. Withdraw a little bit, try to keep your balance, like do the things so things are still healthy for you, that your life is still working, but the bits and pieces that really are someone else's responsibility, at least half of it, maybe leave it undone, okay? Two of Pentacles, change is going to have to happen here. Things are going to fall to pieces. It's you can as well, enjoy the ride and start to withdraw your investments a little bit before the shit hits the fan, okay? And here we have the King of Wands, comes really center. I think it came in this position also for Taurus. Yes, it did. And it's underneath the Chariot and with the Two of Pentacles. So it seems like you need to be a little bit selfish in this situation. If people are not contributing, they don't have to have a free ride. We can say that this one is contributing and she is having a free ride here. We can turn this in the way we want to. But people, all people that's here, we are beautiful souls with a lot of creative powers, but only a few people know. So it seems like you are one of the persons that have this creative power. I noticed the green here, how it goes so well with the hills. If you see this, it's beautiful. Maybe if you step back a little bit, other people could notice their creative power too. So it seems like take care of yourself a little bit more right now. Your own projects. You don't have to, as soon as someone calls, run and help them with their car or whatever is their problem. You can fix your own car, okay? You can fix your own problem. Take it down a notch. Take care of the nosebleed. Take care of the stress. Lay down, breathe a little bit, do some meditation work. This person is enlightened. Work on this instead of running around like crazy, creating things to left and right like a rabid magician, okay? Next card is the Six of Swords. So I'm actually seeing this Nine of Cups person making some kind of effort here and actually feeling like they finally have some kind of purpose in your life. Finally, they are to some use. When you are sitting down, not doing so much, they can feel like useful. It doesn't have to be a husband or a wife. It can be a child. It can be a friend. And this person has this certain glow around them. Very beautiful. So finally, this person feels useful. If we're always taken care of, if we're always spoiled, we can get this nagging feeling of being to no good, no use. And we see these other people being so useful, kind of carrying the world on their shoulder. And we think, I could never be like that. I don't have it in me. It's lucky that I have people taking care of me because I could never take care of people like that. I'm not as good. So they might be forced to manipulate their reality to keep people serving them so that they can continue living like this because they think they can't survive if they are being abandoned. So this person might feel very scared, like things I couldn't make it on my own. I would die. It's like it's burning in all the corner of their house. Nothing is safe. But maybe if you have stepped back a little bit, give them some room to maneuver, they can start to see that, well, I'm really good at this. I can actually wash my own clothes or fix my own car, or I can do this, I can do that. So they start to get this glow around them and they start to feel useful. They start to feel like they can manage, that they can survive and that they can help other people survive. We can see this is a classical thing usually happening when a couple gets babies, for example. The mother thinks here that she's the only one can know how to maneuver this. She is like going into the army and deciding like this and this and this is how we need to do this so this baby will survive. And the guy might start to feel like a leftover. So what's for me to do? I don't know. I don't feel useful. And then you start to leave some mess to this person, and they can finally start to figure things out for themselves. It doesn't always become in the way you want it to, but it's more healthy for everyone, and you need to let go of some control issues anyways. Here, okay. Oh, Seven of Swords. Well, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords. Well, I think this is this person's crappy self-esteem, okay? So, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, they feel your eyes on them, I think. They feel that whatever they do, you are there criticizing them. So they always feel like they can't do anything right. So I think keep your mouth shut, okay, of how you want things to be done. And let people do their own mistakes, okay? They can learn from this. They won't learn if you're always telling them. So if this person doesn't cooperate with you and maybe lies to you, sneak away from you, it's probably because they can't stand being underneath your control. Maybe you are always telling them how to do things and how to do things better and what's wrong with them and all these things. So they feel like sneaking away is a good option. So this is it's counterproductive. Let the person figure this out for themselves and maybe not expose all their lies. Expose half of their lies, not all their lies. It's beginning with this girl with a fox tail and ending with this fox that have gotten some knowledge. I think this is a necessary situation or development. Things will get a little bit worse before they get better. The person will feel like, oh, he or she doesn't have me underneath their boot all the time, not controlling me all the time. I can sneak away and do these things. And they are exhilarated, and they feel free, and they feel like they are manipulating you or fooling you. And then they go full circle and realize, okay, this was not particularly fun. And they come together and maybe they want to contribute, okay? When they have run around being free for a while, not being it's something with this wand also. You can see this wand here. It's the Ace of Wands, of course. Yes, this person has creative powers too. They just never learned to use them. They feel kind of useless, and they need to be able to make their own mistakes. So don't always be there curling your children or your wife or your husband with things. Let them figure out themselves how to start a lawnmower or whatever, so they can start to manage without you and get a little bit better self-esteem, because currently it seems a little bit crappy, but I think they can actually find their way here. Find out that first they might be feeling smart in the way that they have manipulated you or got the upper hand on you, and that might feel a little bit hurtful for your ego. But if you let them carry on a little bit longer, they might actually find self-worth in other things, being able to do good things, contributing to the family or to the situation or to the company, okay? So let them loose a little bit. Let your wife become a teenager again, or your husband to find out, go away for a week and let this person find out how the household equipment works, okay? Whatever is their problem. It can be different weaknesses for different people, but here it seems like a person that don't believe that they can do anything right. And with the wand here, I'm sure they can do right. You just need to give it over, so they will have a chance of doing anything right. And here we have a Six of Wands. So this is sneaky. So this is you playing a little bit small and helpless, and really leading the pack into evolution. So you're backing off, you're playing it a little bit safe, you're not engaging fully, and by this you're actually creating a development in the other person. So you can't change another person, you can only change yourself. And if your dynamic has been, I'm the one that does everything, and you stop doing everything, that inaction, making yourself small, is actually what makes things finally evolve. This is Leo in Jupiter, so it's about victory, leading your troops to victory, just by withdrawing a little bit. And the next card here is the Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, Two of Pentacles, okay? So I think this is some old hurt that has been having you fighting on the barricades. You have been fighting for this, you have tried to make people better because you fear that they are not. You fear that they are going to let you down. So you give them all the instructions to not let you down. This is in this situation you need to say you're sorry. In this situation you need to pick up your laundry and carry it to the whatever. In this situation you need to rather keep your mouth shut than saying something mean in this situation. So I think you don't trust people particularly much, and you have been forced to take a lot of responsibility over a lot of crap because you were so scared that if you didn't take responsibility, no one would, and everything would collapse. People would do self-destructive, stupid things, and your family would fall apart, your company would fall apart, your place of work will fall apart, your house will fall apart, the household will fall apart, the relationships will fall apart. So this is your fear, and now it's coming here, and that might make you feel a little bit like a rabbit too. So now you feel small. Both people feel small here suddenly. It's fine, I guess. People are facing their own insecurities. one tried to be strong and, heads on fixing everything. And now they need to back off and they did see that, I really did this to cover up for a lot of fear. If I'm still, I feel very anxious. If I don't fix the problem, I almost feel like I'm dying. So you don't feel secure in this world, and neither does this person. But when you back off, they have felt this all along, probably, that they were not going to survive without you, maybe. And now they are figuring it out. Okay, so I'm hearing a song. I'm not totally appreciative of it because I try to resist it, because it has come before for you, I think. But it's AVICCI, Without You. So, going on without you, being Bonnie and Clyde without you. So both these people kind of need to grow up on their different corners. This person need to learn to step back and not fix everything. And this person needs to learn to fix their own life and see that they are equipped enough to do so. So it's like an win-win situation, but both people are facing their insecurities here. Yes, justice, beautiful. Chariot, the King of Wands, justice. You might be dealing with, this is Cancer, Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, Libra, Leo, and what do we have more? Libra again. And so you might be dealing with some of these people. Justice, we have the Libra symbol above there, showing that there needs to be balance. Okay, if you overfunctioned, step back. If you didn't function at all, step forward, start to do small things, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Just start doing something. Might be to take you off depression or situations maybe of laziness where we have lived on other people's resources, and this have made us very insecure, and now we need to build on our own self-esteem so we can feel that we have the power to survive and help other people to do so too. So it's actually a win-win situation when a person that has overfunctioned start to give away a little bit of the energy so the other person can function. And here we have this beautiful Six of Pentacles card. Six of Swords, Nine of Cups, Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles. So this person that you thought was so lazy and unnecessary, not helpful, they have a very beautiful, fragile energy, okay? They want to be good in your eyes. They want to be worthy. They want to find these intimate moments that they can share with only you. And that can't happen if you run around like crazy, like some kind of army chief here. How can they meet you when you are so occupied with all the things, all your responsibilities, all the things you need to do? So when things have calmed down, I think you will be able to meet on a more equal level. The Six of Pentacles often carries the scales, as do Justice card. This is when things becomes balanced, we can start meet on equal terms, even if we are totally not like the other person. So they have this beautiful little meeting, and they're talking about things that only they can really understand. If someone overheard, they might be lost to what they are talking about. It's so beautiful and intimate. So this person might have been a little bit overwhelmed by your force here, and if you take it more like take life a little bit less serious and a little less organized, miracles can happen here, and you can have a very beautiful exchange with someone on a very intimate level. And here we have a Five of Cups. So this person, they have tried to look like they didn't have a worry in the world, because they needed to have a little bit stone face with you, so that your words didn't get to them. Clean up your room, fix this, do that. But when things have calmed down, I think that you will not really recognize them. You have seen them maybe as a little bit revolutionary people that manipulates and do the thing always backwards and does the rebellion towards you, act like you are their mother. Maybe you are, but maybe not. But here you will see something else. Okay, there will come a fragility over this person that you need to be treating more delicate. So if this person is going to open up and stop lying to you, you also need to be able to be trustworthy, like that you don't use what they tell you against them. So this is someone that's trying with love. They're trying to learn love. They are trying to learn to be equals, but they are also easily scared. So if you put too much pressure here, ask too much, they might not be able to take it because they haven't been as challenged as you. So they have a harder time dealing with emotional challenges. You have gone through hell and back and you survived no problem. So you're like, what's to whine about? Get to work. And this person, I think you need to treat them a little bit more with silky gloves to be able to really get to know them, who they are in their core. It will be a reward if you can meet this person halfway, okay? And here is the Oracle of Dragon Fae. So I will take an advice card for you. Fernia, Clarity. So I will read this. 43. Must be one of the last cards in this deck. Yes, it was the last one. I wish to be honest with you, so you understand what it is you think and feel you're wishing for. Do you understand that in order for you to be in connection with all you feel, see here. Do you understand that in order for you to be in connection with all you feel you desire, that there will be what many consider to be sacrifices along the way? Do you understand that what we can offer you is shelter, yes, soft and sweet, tender and shaded beneath the heat of the sun, a place to rest and sleep and dream? But do you also know that others will say you dwell in fantasy land and that what you dream of cannot be? Consider the truth of what it is you wish for, and know that whatever you commit to, expectations play no part in this promise I make to you, because I do pledge to shelter you and introduce you to magics, to show you the ways of the dragon fae folk, and to help tend the little ones with me. But I also promise you this, that your supposed nirvana will be muddy and dirty and difficult at times. There is no way for this to be what you fantasize about. See here, change leaf. You will need to care for yourself and to allow others to be who they are. For this is the path of clarity, knowing who you are and the part you are playing in all things. Leave your expectations behind and be prepared to discover more magic than you ever thought possible. Do not seek to possess anything, and know that you are free to choose in every moment if you will go on. Do you understand that if you wish to be of this realm and yourself entirely, that you will give up some old ways of thinking? Otherwise, you may find yourself hurt by the conflict such incompatible thoughts and feelings will bring. So it's something very delicate that you are close to, and it will come when you quiet down, when you don't run around, try to solve all these problems. And it might come from other people too. So be open to also their worldview. Might be news to you, what they are bringing, but it might be something good, something that in collaboration can be very fruitful. Okay, so the other is crown chakra. So this is This is involving your soul. 43. It became the same for Leo, but with other cards. 43, 43. They have 34, 43. So it's the, I guess, the feminine and the masculine trying to balance their differences. So, crown chakra. Emerging from an endless cosmos of violet and white starlight, Sahasrara, our crown chakra, beams with divinity, radiating a formless golden hue. Its breadth is limitless. 1,000 pure white lotus petals encircle a full moon core, drawing us into a centered state of pure consciousness. Known to many yogis, both past and present, as the doorway to the infinitive, Sahasrara offers us the possibility of direct contact with the divine. Experiencing Sahasrara's expanse, we are reminded that we are one and connected with all life, and we are awakened and inner knowing and awareness of our divinity. This card calls for deep reflection, prayer, and gratitude for the miracles of life. Take time to recognize and acknowledge the energy of grace and support it in your soul's journey, in your life, and in yourself. I am one with the divine. I am connected to the source of infinitive knowledge. I accept divine guidance in my life journey. So I'm thinking a little bit about the King of Wands here. So I'm thinking, stop your busy life and start doing a little bit more of nothing. Come back to balance. Let your body come back to balance. Stay in awareness. Feel your body. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just about being awake. It can be very boring, but I think boring is what you need. You have been running around a little bit like crazy, and now it's time to be bored and connect with your own self. Okay, in stillness, in gratitude, in silence, in boredom. And you will find a treasure here. And it might be that other people will have a little bit of relaxing time also when you are not speeding around like your tail was on fire. Okay, I couldn't help myself. So, my dear Sagittarius, I want to show you this from an above perspective. If you find this helpful, you can also watch my pick a card readings. Press the little icon, the Queen of Cups symbol, and you will come to my channel, and then scroll down just a little bit and you will have pick a card psychic readings of different sorts. And pick the one that you are most intrigued by and see if this story can elevate some more. You can get a little bit more insight into what's really going on and what's asked of you. And I also want to make you aware that I will do the August reading in the middle of July. So welcome back then. And until then, take really good care and have a really nice time. Bye bye.